Hello everyone and welcome to Zoology Tutor. Today we are going to discuss chapter number 18 of reproduction from FSc Part 2 Second Year Biology 12 book, and we will be discussing male and female reproductive systems. So these are very basic concepts and these are going to help you throughout your life, so you must learn them. So we will be discussing male and female. They have separate reproductive systems. The video will be easy to cram, very short, word to word, book lines, and you don't need to tell it from book. This is very helpful for board preparations as an important long questions and for MCQs. So keep watching. Let's get started with the male reproductive system. Now, it has three main parts. Number one is that external genitalia. It consists of a pair of testes which will lie outside the body, and they lie in a sac-like structure that is known as scrotum. And third thing is the male copulatory organ, penis, to transfer sperm into female reproductive tract. So here there are three main things: a pair of testes, scrotum, and copulatory organ. Now, when we zoom into the testes, we said there are three things. Now we'll zoom into the testes to see what are the structures present within. Number one, we have seminiferous tubules, interstitial cells, sertoli cells, vas deferens, and epididymis. To be very concise with the syllabus, I'm just focusing on these. Number one, seminiferous tubules. These are highly complex duct system in which spermatogonia form by repeated division of germinal epithelium. So the outer layer, germinal epithelium, that will form the spermatogonia. Now, next we have interstitial cells. These are present between the seminiferous tubules and they secrete testosterone, that is the hormone that is essential for two main functions. Number one, for the successful production of sperms, and number two, to control the development of secondary sexual characteristics in males. You know the secondary sexual characteristics in males, like as we have male voice change and hair growth, etc. So here you see in the blue area, these are the seminiferous tubules within the testes, and when we zoom it in the plane of section, you see a circular blue area. This is a whole lumen or the seminiferous tubules, and around these tubules, these are the interstitial cells present which will secrete the hormone that is known as what? That is known as testosterone. So within the seminiferous tubules, you can see that spermatozoa or sperms are being produced, and outside the seminiferous tubules, interstitial cells are secreting testosterone that will control the production of sperms and their successful production and etc. Moving back, now we have sertoli cells. These secretes fluid. Interstitial cells secrete hormone testosterone, and sertoli cells secrete fluid that will provide what? It will provide three things. It will provide protection, it will provide nourishment, and liquid medium to sperms while they are in the tubule. So they are very like nursing cells that help the sperms to nourish them, to protect them, and to keep them in liquid medium. Then we have vas deferens. This is the main duct of female reproductive tract and sperm transfer to it. Then we have epididymis. The vas deferens end into highly convoluted tube that is known as epididymis. And at last, the sperms then pass through urogenital duct and discharged out. So these are the main structures. Let's look here. We have the urinary bladder, and then we have symphysis pubis, then the sperm duct. Starting from the circular region, you know that is the testis. Then it is present in a sac-like structure, scrotum, and there is epididymis, and then it ends from vas deferens into the, the seminal vesicle and the sperm duct that carry it to the urinogenital duct, and then we have penis, that is a copulatory organ. Now you must learn this diagram. We have testis, then it also has seminiferous tubules in it, then it has the epididymis and the sperm duct. And I already told you that there is a lumen of seminiferous tubules where the germinal epithelial cell will secrete what? They will form the spermatogonia, which will end up making spermatids. Now, then we have spermatogenesis, that is the gamete formation. Within the text, we'll find these gamete formation, that in seminiferous tubules, repeated division of the cells by germinal epithelium produce spermatogonia. These increase in size and differentiate into primary spermatocytes, which undergo meiotic division to form secondary spermatocytes and spermatids. Eventually, the spermatids differentiate into mature sperms. Here you can see the diagram. The spermatocytes are forming 4 haploid spermatids, which will mature to form a sperm, that have a head and a tail. Then the female reproductive system consists of 4 main parts. We already discussed external genitalia in male. It's also present in female. Then we have in there were a pair of testes. Here we have pair of ovaries. Then in ducts we have here oviducts and then the uterus. Female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries that lie within the body cavity. You know the difference here. The testis lies outside the body in the scrotum. The pair of ovaries lies within the body cavity of female, and germ cells in ovary produce many oogonia. Ovulation is a process that is the release of discharge of ovum. Means to the discharge of egg is known as what? That is ovulation. And in humans, every mostly at one time only one ovum is discharged. And oviduct, this is the ovum is transferred to the oviduct, generally called fallopian tube or uterine tube, and the fertilization of the ovum takes place in the proximal part of oviduct. Then we have uterus, that is uterine tube that opens the uterus. The fertilized ovum enters an implant in uterus and it undergoes to. Now there are 2 main MCQs, that the fertilization of the ovum that will take place in the proximal part of the oviduct. We'll see the oviduct here right now. And that the fertilized egg will implant where? Where will it undergo further development? It will implant in the uterus. Then let's see it here, that we have ovary, the yellow structures, right? Then we have the oviduct. The egg will form here and then it will travel to the oviduct, and here it will fertilize in the proximal part. Then the fertilized egg zygote, that is, it will come to the uterus. This whole area is known as the uterus, and it will implant here and it will grow and develop. And then, after the birth, this is the cervix area that is opening to the vagina, and this is the vagina. Here within the ovary, that there are egg cells present, and these are the follicles. Now, placenta is established between the uterine and fetal tissues for the exchange of oxygen, carbon dioxide, waste nutrients, and other materials. And vagina, it's the uterus opens into the vagina through cervix. Then the urethra and vagina have independent openings to the exterior. Urethra, it is the part of excretory system that is used for excretion, urine production, and vagina, it's for the reproductive system. So they have independent openings. Now, gamete formation, the germ cells in the ovary will produce many oogonia, then which they divide mitotically to form primary oocytes. Then they are enclosed in a group of follicle cells. The primary oocyte divide mitotically into the haploid, secondary oocyte, and first polar body. So this is the first polar body and the secondary oocyte. Then the second mitotic during the oocyte proceed as far as the metaphase. It will undergo till the metaphase, but it is not completed until the oocyte is fertilized by the sperm. So here it will stop till the metaphase until or unless there is fertilization occurs. And then this can be the MCQ, that for how much time it will proceed. So it will proceed as far as metaphase. And then afterwards, the second polar bodies will form and egg cell will be formed, that is haploid. Now to learn this concept, see here that before birth in the females, there is an oogonium present. It undergoes mitosis and forms primary oocyte that is arrested in prophase 1. Then at the time of puberty, the meiosis will continue and it will form first polar body and the secondary oocyte that arrests in what? It arrests in metaphase 2. This is the MCQ that we the concept that we learned. And then ovulation occurs, means the release of egg or ova. And the fertilization will occur, and then meiosis will occur, and the secondary polar body and 2 unfertilized egg will form. This was a whole concept. So what we learned here is the female reproductive system have parts ovary, oviduct, uterus, and vagina. And coming to males, we have these parts. We have the testes, we have the copulatory organ penis, and we also have the sperm duct and the epididymis, etc. and the scrotum. Thank you for watching.